Hey folks, Aaron Dorr here with the Missouri Firearms Coalition. We have breaking news and updates for you in light of President Biden. Our Sniffer in Chief's just concluded press conference announcing executive action in his war against the Second Amendment. Again, my name is Aaron Dorr with the Missouri Firearms Coalition. I'm going to fire off a watch party here. Give me a couple moments, guys, and we'll get this video going. Come on and get signed in. And let us know where you're watching from. As you guys know, your comments help the video to be seen by more people. We need everybody engaged in this fight right now. So get on in here, guys. We're talking about what Biden just did. And more importantly, what we can do in Missouri to stop this madman from trampling on our freedoms. I'm going to, a couple more seconds here. I'm going to post the watch party, and we're going to begin the broadcast. Guys, get in here right away. It's a monumental attack coming down the pike on our freedoms. And we're going to talk about this and, again, how we can fight back on this today, right now, here in Missouri. So I think I had the watch party going. Should be good. A couple seconds away here, guys, and we're going to begin the broadcast. I see folks getting signed in right now. I see Stephen and James, Ron and Jerry, Roger, Chris, lots of folks getting signed in right now. Good to see you all on here. So if you missed it, you didn't miss much. You missed a doddering old fool who hates you, hates the Second Amendment, hates our freedom, and wants to destroy all of it. And all of us just got done with his press conference talking about his intentions to use executive action to do what he cannot do with the Congress because he lacks the votes. Stephen Bedore, hold your horses. I will come to that. Here's the short version. I'm going to back up from there. Biden just declared war on our gun rights via executive action, and if we want to stop him, the Missouri Senate needs to take action on House Bill 85 immediately. This is the Second Amendment Preservation Act, and folks, we need this bill in law in Missouri right the heck now. Now, the good news is that the committee, the General Laws Committee, an hour ago, 2 hours ago, just passed the bill through committee by a vote of 5-2. It's already passed the House, okay? It's already passed the House. It's now passed the Senate. The question now is, will Senator Schatz, the Senate president, put the bill on the floor for a vote? That's the question. So you guys need to take action and help us do that immediately by sending your email, and we have the links right here in this broadcast, your automatic email to your state senator and say, we want you to vote on this bill this session, right now. You've got a month yet until adjournment, 6 weeks even. We want action on this bill right now. Now I'm going to back up from there for a moment, discuss what we just watched our Sniffer in Chief talk about in the Rose Garden. President Biden intends to use executive action via the ATF to make it illegal for you to own or purchase an AR-15 style pistol brace unless you go through the standard process for Class 3 weapons. So he wants you to go through the whole process, the 200-year tax stamp, the whole 9 yards. They're going to treat them the same as they do. They call them assault weapons or fully automatic firearms. So complete registration of an AR pistol brace under these guidelines. The same thing would be true for 80% lower receivers. Now they call them ghost guns. Ghost guns. It's all BS. We all know what these are. These are guns that people make in their home. It's home build kits. Could be anything from an AR-15. It could be a Glock 9. It could be a Ruger 1022. It's an incredibly popular idea across the state, across the country amongst gun owners. And that's why Joe Biden hates it, because he hates having guns in the hands of private citizens. But he really hates it when he doesn't know what guns you own. And that's why they are trying to make it a crime. Trying to make it a crime for you to possess these firearms in your home as an unregistered item. That's number two. Number three, he's calling on Congress to pass legislation to fund red flag gun seizure laws at the state level all across the country. You see, they know he thinks he's right. He doesn't have the votes right now to advance a federal red flag gun seizure law. What he does have is our money. He does have our taxpayer money, and he intends to use that to bribe state legislatures into passing state-level red flag gun seizure laws. And what they're going to do is they're going to give suggested helpful language from the Merrick Garland Attorney General's office and the Joe Biden White House to suggest how your state, our states, all of our state legislatures can actually enact red flag gun seizure laws. And then if we do, then they'll give the state of Missouri, the state of fill in the blank, your taxpayer money as a bribe to thank them for coming after your gun rights. And the fourth thing we heard from Joe Biden today was his nomination, long expected nomination of David Chipman to lead the ATF. Although this idiot, what a national embarrassment. This idiot stands up there and says the new director of the AFT, David Chipman, as the leader of the AFT, Chipman's going to, and he goes on to talk. He doesn't even know the agencies that he supposedly runs in D.C. Such an embarrassment. Does anybody want to guess where David Chipman worked until about an hour ago, now that he's the nominee for the AFT? You want to guess where David Chipman has been for quite some time now? I'll wait for a couple seconds here for a comment to pop in. But David Chipman has been an enemy, a warrior against your freedom, against America. He's a degenerate scoundrel who's been fighting against your Second Amendment rights for a very long time as the head policy advisor of Giffords, former Congresswoman Giffords' National Gun Control Organization. So if he's confirmed, what we're going to see happen here is Gabby Giffords and her husband, U.S. Senator Mark Kelly, will in effect be running the ATF. That's what you got going on with David Chipman. The guy is a tool. He's an utter tool for the radical left. He is the radical left trying to destroy your freedom. And if you watched his comments, I mean, again, the guy is a doddering old fool. I'm talking about Sniffer in Chief Biden here. And he talks about how the children who see gun violence, the children who have to live with the ramifications of gun violence, that's the reason why we have to deal with this. Now, maybe I missed it because I don't watch every single press conference that Joe Biden's done for the last couple of years. But did anybody see Joe Biden, our sniffer in chief, this degenerate himself? Did anybody see him or Kamala Harris out there talking about the trauma that our children endured when they watched Joe Biden's friends with Black Lives Matter and Antifa storm their way across Missouri, storm their way across America last year and burn and shoot and rob and loot our cities to the ground? I didn't. Maybe I missed it. Maybe he is the law and order president. Now, this is all BS, and we all know it. These people hate you. They hate us as gun owners. They have no pretense of objectivity. They don't even care. So when Antifa murders cops in St. Louis, like they did last year with that retired officer, when they burn our businesses to the ground, when they terrorize entire neighborhoods, entire cities with out-of-control violence, burn our buildings to the ground, you hear nothing from this loser. But now, when they want to use this same argument against gun owners, we have to disarm the American people. That's the clear message coming from Joe Biden today. This has nothing to do with crime. It's nothing to do with safety. It's nothing to do with lowering any sort of crime rates. This is exclusively about trying to disarm the American people any way they can. And this loser knows that he does not have the votes right now to pass H.R. 8 in Congress, the National Gun Owner Database. He knows he lacks the votes right now to ban our semi-automatic firearms. He knows he lacks the votes right now to ban our magazines over 10 rounds capacity. The only tool he has right now, and what a tool he is to use executive action to try to silence our freedoms and to take away our right to keep and bear arms and the pieces that we need to do that. So that's where we stand. This is an unabashed attack on your freedom. Has nothing to do with crime. It's all about trying to attack gun owners and repay the America-hating leftist hordes who put him into office. Everytown for Gun Safety, Giffords, and everybody else. That's all this is. There's no pretense here anymore that this is going to be somehow used to somehow lower crime, and we all know that. We all know that. Now, what do we do about it? What do we do about it? Well, I'll tell you two things. First of all, the Missouri Firearms Coalition is actively going to be pursuing our options with other state-level gun rights organizations and national gun organizations to sue for injunctive relief in the courts to try to shut this down. It's going to take some time. We haven't even seen, of course, what the actual language will be. Probably take a month or so at least from what our sniffer in chief said before we get that language public. And then from there, we have to review it with our legal team and see what our options are for a lawsuit. But also, in the meantime, all we have to do, and it's not that complicated, is finally pass the Second Amendment Preservation Act, SAPA legislation. SAPA legislation has been moving across the country, but folks, it got its start right here in Missouri. It got its start in Jefferson City. This is the only legislation of its kind that has the teeth that we need to actually make it work. Other states are passing what they're calling SAPA legislation, and I guess there's probably some value there. Maybe there is. But the reality is, without teeth, SAPA legislation is nothing. It doesn't even exist. Our bill would do the following. It would require that Missouri sheriff's deputies, city cops, and state troopers that they only enforce Missouri law when it comes to guns, ammunition, and accessories. So all of this stuff that we're seeing come down right now in the Rose Garden today, that would be nullified in Missouri. Missouri peace officers could not enforce federal law that makes these things, or federal executive actions in this case, that makes these items illegal. They could not do it. Not they don't have to, they would not be able to. And if some anti-gun mayor like Lyda Crewson in St. Louis or somebody else says, the hell with that, we're going to order our officers to enforce federal gun control laws, well then guess what? You can sue the city, you can sue the agency in court for damages to shut them down. This could happen. This could happen very quickly. The bill has already passed the House, and we had committee action today in the General Laws Committee. It passed 5-2. The question now is, will the Missouri Senate take action and pass the freaking bill? That's it. That is our hurdle. That is the place we're in right now. You can do two huge things to help us today. Number one, there's a link above the video. I'm going to put it right now in the comment section as well. It goes right to your state senator, and it says, we want to see a vote. We want you to take action on this bill right now. Stop dinking around. Stop dragging butt on this. Stop sitting here taking no action. We want you to vote on SAPA right now and to protect our gun rights. That's number one. And number two is to call the Senate President, Dave Schatz, and tell him we want to vote on this. It's his decision ultimately. He is the one ultimately who will decide if this bill comes up for a vote or not. Dave Schatz, Senator Schatz, Senate President. His phone number, and write this down. I don't have it to put onto the comment section right now, so write this down. His phone number, his office phone number in the Capitol, 573-751-3678. Again, 573-751-3678 to call Senator Schatz, Senate President Schatz, and tell him we want action on this bill. You know, this is not Maryland, right? This is not even Illinois. This is not some blue state. It's not even a purple state. This is Missouri. And the fact that we're sitting here having to go around and around and around and around for 3 months now with the Senate taking no action on this bill is atrocious. This should not happen. This should be dealt with right away. Right away. So call your senators, email them, contact them, and tell them to pass this bill right now. Russ just put the number in there for Senator Schatz. Thank you, Russ. 573-751-3678. That's the correct number. Thank you for that, Russ. I want to say something else, and I might make some of you mad. Maybe. You tell me. You know, the truth of the matter is that we are in this position right now because Joe Biden is a crazy, doddering old fool. You know, if you watch his press conference, again, I just want to make sure you saw this. He talked about David Chipman as the new director of the AFT. The AFT. He doesn't even know. Let me kill my phone here. He doesn't even know the name of his agency. The AFT. The AFT. So you got Joe Biden, who hates America, hates your Second Amendment freedoms, and hates all gun owners who stand up to defend our freedoms. But here's the other problem we have. This is a continuation of what we saw in 2018 when not Giffords, not Everytown for Gun Safety, but when the National Rifle Association came out and urged President Trump to use his executive authority via the ATF to ban bump stocks. Just going to say it one more time. This is a continuation of the compromises that we have seen going back to 2018 when the National Rifle Association told President Trump that it's okay. Not only is it okay, but we want you to use executive action to ban bump stocks. They said it. They're the ones that did it. They're the ones that called for it. And so when President Trump did this to ban bump stocks via executive action, he did so with the full support of the National Rifle Association, who urged him to do it. Now, a lot of gun owners, not you guys, the MOFC members are the best of the best of the best, but a lot of gun owners across the state and across the country at that time, 3 years ago, said, you know, I don't care about a bump stock. I don't own a bump stock. I don't know anybody who owns a bump stock. They're novelty items. I think it's kind of stupid, or whatever the reason was. We had countless FUDs 3 years ago who said, oh, it's fine. Just ban them. Who cares? Who gives a crap? And we stood at that time, we stood tall and said, this is wrong. This is wrong. We don't give an inch to the left. We damn sure don't do it when our side, quote unquote, has control in Congress. And we dang sure don't do it to placate the radical left. If we do this, it will only lead to more compromises and to more executive action to attack our freedoms. And folks, we're seeing exactly that right now, today. This is what happens when we give these people an inch. I got to tell you, if I was the Sniffer in Chief's speechwriter, if I was Creepy Joe's speechwriter, I would have put that in the comments. If he could actually deliver them and not biff it up and the AFT. I would have said, you know, what we're doing today is a continuation of what the previous administration did via executive action to ban dangerous accessories of firearms. And these items that make guns more dangerous, we have to get them off our streets. I would have blamed the NRA. I would have blamed the previous administration. I would have used them as cover for me. Galen says right here, give an inch, they take a mile. That's exactly right. So gun owners have to, and again, I do not mean the ferocious members of the Missouri Firearms Coalition, but gun owners have to realize, you know, some gun owners are all they care about is their side-by-side, gold inlaid, right, fancy $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 side-by-side shotgun for going, dove hunting or pheasant hunting or something else. And a lot of gun owners have this idea that doesn't matter to me. Folks, there's no pretense left. Any gun owner who sits there today and thinks that, wow, this doesn't really affect me. I don't have an AR-15 pistol brace. I don't have an 80% lower receiver. I don't have these items. It doesn't affect me. That person, and I don't mean you guys, but that person is a naive fool because this is only getting worse. They're constantly taking more action via executive action to bypass the Congress because they don't have the votes to bypass the Congress and take away our freedom. And we need to see our legislatures stand up at the state level and pass SEPA law now to make sure that these executive actions are null and void here in Missouri and all the rest of the red states across America. This is what we have to do. This is what we have to do. And we also need to see gun owners, again, embrace the idea that we don't give an inch to these people. They hate America. They hate our freedoms. They hate the Second Amendment. We're not here to make a deal. We're not here to find areas of compromise. There's no compromise. Do you compromise when someone kicks in your front door at 3 o'clock in the morning coming to kill you and rape your wife and kill your kids? You put them down. And that's how we have to politically act. I want to be very clear. That's how we have to act. There's no room for negotiation, is my point, with a home invader. And there's no room for negotiation with these people who want to destroy our country. And that's all this is about, is to destroy our country. You know what? They can't do it right now. They can't do it right now because there's 70, 80, 100 million armed Americans who are saying, no, you're not going to pass this crap. You're not going to destroy our country. You're not going to enslave an entire nation under the control of a tyrant. Absolutely not. John Taylor says HB 85 is the best chance. That's the bill number for SEPA, HB 85. Is the best chance that we have at showing the government that we, the people, will never give up our Second Amendment. Absolutely. The question is, will the Republican pro-gun Senate, and some of these things are in quotation marks, you can decide, will they pass it or not? Just want to be clear on this. They haven't passed a gun bill since Obama was in the White House. They've killed every single pro-gun bill since Obama was in the White House. Let that sink in. State after state after state passing massive pro-gun bills. You know, you guys know I work in Iowa extensively. In fact, to be totally honest, if you look behind me right now, I could probably see the banner right there. It says Iowa gun owners hanging right there behind the Missouri banner. Work a lot in Iowa too. And Iowa passed a monumental expansion of freedom just last Friday. They finally copied what we've done here in Missouri and passed constitutional carry law just a couple days ago, because the normally weak, spineless Republicans that control many seats in the Iowa legislature, all of a sudden they got some chutzpah because Joe Biden is coming, and everybody knows it. And everybody here in Missouri knows it. Everybody in Jeff City knows it. The question is, what are they going to do about it? The answer is right before them. The option is right in front of them. HB House Bill 85. That's what we need. It's already passed the House. It passed committee this morning, 5-2. Now it's up to Senator Schatz, Senate President Dave Schatz, to put this bill on the floor, get this thing passed, to put this on the governor's desk. Do your part. Send your email. Do it right now. It's not enough for them to say, I support SEPA. No kidding. No kidding. What will you do to make it pass? How hard will you fight in your caucus to make this happen? That's what we need. And again, they've said the same crap in 2017, in 2018, in 2019, in 2020, and all year long so far. Oh, I support the Second Amendment. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. It's all good. I support the Second Amendment. In many cases, it's just simply a con, just to get us to say, oh, okay, he's good to go. And then we go home and we take no more action because, he told me he's pro-gun. We've been played. We're being played. That can't happen anymore. There's no time left. Joe Biden is coming, and now is the time to finish this fight once and for all with HB 85. Contact your state senator immediately and talk to him. Joe says, and SB 39. So, Joe, that is the companion bill. So that's the same thing. If we pass HB 85, we get what we want. That's what this is. It's a combined thing. Arthur says no results found. I'm not sure where you're looking, Arthur. I'm sorry, I can't answer more about that. But guys, take action. send your emails. Join the Missouri Firearms Coalition. It's joinmofc.com. Joinmofc.com and get involved in this fight. We need everybody involved now. Share the video, send the email, make the phone calls, and we will be in touch. Guys, that's all I have time for right now. Take action, and we'll keep you informed. Take care.